good. I loved Collision, the next strong. It was so good when he came out. I don't know. Did you see Collision?
Save the thought. Well, let's jump into the
So
next one.
good,
Let's save
so
it. Okay,
good.
let me just grab some water here. And
Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick sip too.
yeah, 2 weeks of AEW now. This guy.
Are we going into? So we're doing episode 29 now.
Yeah, they're doing
Uh,
the Jay White or Swerve Strickland and talk about what's going on with MJF. And are we talking about the who is the new champ appears to be? And then and
and
then and then we'll jump into all those guys in episode 30. We'll talk about Flair, Sting, and the other boys.
are we mentioning the White Devil mask character?
If you want to, go ahead.
Up to
You can
you.
do it. Seriously. If
Yeah,
it feels
because I
organic, go
think
for it.
that's a hot topic too right
Yeah.
now. I think who's under the mask.
Okay, so when we mention MJF, you can throw that in there.
Yeah.
And we are back on Professional Wrestling, the podcast for bros and pros. That is John Pierre El Curry, Jonathan A. Hacohen. We are your bros for this episode. We are on magical episode number 29, believe it or not, 29. And the significance of today, we kind of segued from last week, kept you in mystery. So bye-bye WWE for a little while. Back to AEW, our new first love in the world of wrestling. And the Triple B, the beautiful Burberry belt that is supposed to belong to MJF, but Jay White carries along Mr. Switchblade. And today's topic is who is going to be the next AEW champion? Is it Jay White or Swerve Strickland? JP, first and foremost, lots been going on with MJF, by the way. So hot off the presses recently, I don't know if you know, but since his engagement broke down, he has a new partner. He's been advertising that on social media. So good for Mr. MJF. A wrestling commentator from Major League of Wrestling. They're apparently now in a relationship. So MJF is proudly showing that on social media. And if MJF's in a relationship and showing that, that means he's pretty excited about his general future. And does that mean he is going to be extending in AEW or is he leaving for greener pastures in WWE?
Well, we're gonna find out. He's made it very loud and very clear that 2024 is gonna be the biggest bidding war for MJF. And he has done everything he could possibly do to make himself the highest value on the market. He's played the best heel. He's played the best babyface. He's sold merch. He's climbed all the way up to the top, had the most gripping storylines in AEW, in my opinion. He's brought up talent and he's hung with the best. Even some might say the best in the world. And he's shown he's got what it takes to be that number one guy to carry the weight of a company on his shoulders and take that company to the top. I'm excited to see what happens for MJF. My heart wants him to stay with AEW, but we can't deny the financial power of WWE.
I miss Better Than You, baby. Um,
Hugely.
can Roderick Strong please leave Adam Cole alone so Adam Cole can come help MJF? What is Roderick's problem?
You know what? When you have a best friend like Adam Cole, the same way that I have a best friend in you, Jonathan, it's hard to walk away from that, my friend.
JP! JP! Fantastic. You know what? They really, that's one of the things with the vignettes and how they're going about it.
Oh,
AW
so
is
good.
keeping us in stitches. They're doing a great job with it. But how did they drop? They dropped the Ring of Honor belts, right? Because they were the tag team champions.
They were, yeah. So they had that. Um, I mean, you gotta drop them, right? I mean,
Yes.
how long can you run it?
And Adam Cole was out for a while, and MJF was defending him by himself. So
Right.
let's give kudos. Oh, they dropped it to the those guys. The
Yeah, not reclaimed.
No,
Yeah,
the
righteous,
religious guys.
right? The
Yeah.
righteous, I think, right?
The righteous,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes. And you know what? I saw
Yeah,
the
they're so
righteous
good.
when here in Toronto when they were wrestling.
I was there. Yep.
You're right, and they were there on all the matches with Ring of Honor, AEW. They
Yeah.
were doing dark matches. You know what? I said these guys are pretty cool.
I digged it. I,
I'm all right with
I
it. So it's nice to see that they're also getting their opportunities. But I miss Better Than You, baby.
hugely. I think the whole AEW universe misses it, right? Like they are one of the best things out of 2023. You know, we're almost done the year, and to me, they were one of the hottest topics. I think maybe just behind the Bloodline storyline, which is when you're talking about storylines, that was probably one of the best in the decade or two, I would say. So to be anywhere near that is, high praise because that's you're in good company. And that storyline that Adam Cole and MJF put together, amazing.
I understand why MJF went with the whole face, and I saw that he had to do the turn. I think he brought Adam Cole up a lot. I thought that he raised Adam
Huge,
Cole's stock in AEW, and they were
huge.
doing well together, and they were doing great vignettes together. With Adam Cole gone, MJF was kind of floundering there for a little bit, and now he's becoming a little bit of a badass again. And we'll go with that. I'm cool with it. I get it. The only thing is, when you call him the devil, he's not the devil that he used to be, like because he's a face
Yeah.
now. So I think the whole devil thing is kind of not making sense to me. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. And but you know what I've noticed too is now he's kind of using the power from him and Adam Cole better than you, baby. He's kind of giving now the rub to the acclaimed in the last little bit too. So I'm wondering where that's gonna go. It looks like that's an interesting storyline in the meantime, right? To kind of stay focused on. Um, and we'll see where that one goes.
And I like the pairing. Honestly, I find the whole acclaim thing because they were also kind of floundering for a little bit there, and they got their
Yeah,
scissor me belts. But it's cool.
I love those belts.
It's
I
great.
love
It's
those
great. It's great. I hope to see one on the back of your wall one day. You got to find yourself one of those. That'd be fantastic.
belts.
And in the meantime, we're at a point now in AEW that I can't say we were there before, but we're not talking about Hangman Page and we're not talking about Bleeding Moxley.
hmm
We have two very credible contenders for the AEW belt, and it's Jay White and Swerve Strickland. Now, before we get to them, why this topic has become blowing up on the internet is
hmm
because you see the poster just got announced for Wembley All In #2 gonna be happening. It's gonna probably be the biggest pay-per-view of all time with the biggest attendance ever, more than All In One even. And you're looking at the poster itself, right? We got Adam Copeland, don't call me Edge. We got Christian Cage, Darby, Kenny Omega, Orange Cassidy, Moxley, Tony Storm, because I guess because she's British. Ha ha ha. I get it. Fine. Um, and you can't just put all dudes on there. So fine, I can live with this. But kind of interesting. Why is MJF not on that poster? He is the AW champion.
There's the unknown, right? We know. I believe it was January that his contract's up, January 2024. So it would look kind of foolish to have him on that flyer, right? Where they're not sure, they haven't sealed the deal maybe with him, and let's see what happens, man. I don't know.
If
What
he
do you?
does,
What are your thoughts?
if he gets extended that same day or next day, the American posters with him, they probably already have it ready to go for
Yeah,
sure, for sure. The same way, kind of curious that Britt Baker's not in there. She was the face of AW Women's Division, so
she was humongous in it, and I'm sad to see her kind of step away from that. But she is also a professional dentist. Maybe she's focusing on her dentistry as well.
and maybe when Adam Cole is done taking care of Roderick Strong, Britt Baker will take care of Adam Cole. So maybe he needs help getting the controller for his video games. Who knows what the
Yeah.
guy needs in life. What I will go on record is saying this much: MJF goes to WWE. It is career suicide for him. It is the worst mistake he can make possible. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You are the next Tozawa. You're going to be joining freaking Alpha Academy. MJF, don't do it. This is what they do to
Yeah.
people that try to screw their company. I can't see them keeping the allure of him. I feel like he's safer in AEW. It's the big fish in a little pond, so to speak. I think that he can
Yeah.
make the money's work, but I think I just see him better in AEW. I don't see how it can go well for him in WWE. I mean, look at what happened to Cody Rhodes. You think that MJF's gonna come tell a story and win a championship? Ain't gonna
Yeah.
happen. They come and destroy. They also have a lot of wrestlers on the roster. They let go of them a lot quicker. There's no attachment. You take MJF, put him in WWE. WWE screws around with him. The allure is gone. Now what? So I say no, MJF. Don't go to WWE. JP.
Stay AEW. I'm with you, brother. 100%. He's he won't be appreciated for his type of entertainment. Anybody that they brought into the fold from another company, with few exceptions, Ric Flair, the Nature Boy being one of them. Anytime they've transitioned to WWE, they basically get that shovel and they bury them, and they make you look like a joke. You've got LA Knight doing everything possibly right in the company, not getting up to that level, even though the fans want him there. Cody, he came in with a whole lot of steam and press and, you know, putting people in seats. He didn't get it. The Icon Sting, love the guy. They destroyed
Destroyed.
him.
It's terrible.
Like
Terrible.
one of
Terrible.
the most disgusting things I've seen someone on of that caliber treated in any type of organization. They wrecked him.
On all
MJF,
levels. Yeah.
we love you, bro. Please, we love you, and you know it. Stay in AEW. The fans love you. Tony loves you. You will be way better off. Grow your brand a bit more, and then if you decide, hey, you're way too big for this pond, try to make the leap then. But for now, keep doing what you're doing. The fans love you. Stay at AEW.
If you need to MJF, go to New Japan and stay in AEW. Go grow your brand that way. Don't
Yeah,
go to WWE. Wrestlers
they
save.
will.
No, I can't. But not listen. There are the people that it does work for them. I mean, think about the Undertaker. He was floundering in WCW as Mean Mark Callis and went to
Yes,
become the Undertaker. Think about the Ted DiBiase gimmick. So guys have done it. Chris Jericho would not be Chris Jericho. I mean, Jericho was another exception when he came in under the Y2J and they exploded him. He was average at best in WCW. So I'm saying the possibility is there. I feel more comfortable MJF in 5 to 7 years from now, not MJF today.
yes, I would agree in that. But to those wrestlers that you've named, and it's a great list, I would say that they were never the faces of a competitor company,
Not even
where
close.
MJF is.
Right.
And because he's the face, he's got the most to lose by switching to WWE because we know how they treat stars that are not homegrown.
The,
And MJF is burning bright right now.
the fact that he's the face gives him any kind of hope that it would happen for him. And you
Yeah,
take Mean Mark Callis and you take Chris Jericho from the day and you put them now, they'd have way bigger hill to climb. But anyways, there's a lot of things that Vince did right back in the day. So now I got
for
to ask
sure.
you, I'm very, very torn now. I'm very, very torn because I actually equally love Jay White and Swerve Strickland. Jay White, Bullet Club Gold. You got the guns. You got Juice Robinson. I love Juice Robinson. They walk around with the cutout of Jay White. He
Yeah.
steals the triple B. He's walking around triple B. He gives great promos with his accent, and he's just amazing. So clean in the ring, washboard abs. Jay White all day long. The guy is just phenomenal. He's a star, and they're very lucky to have him. WWE should be crying that they didn't bid enough to get this man.
Yep.
And that's on the one hand. We're not even going to get into Will Ospreay this episode, but man, there's still rumors that
Oh,
he's floating around, and I think AEW will get him. But at this point, the only two stars I'm seeing him and Swerve. I mean, Swerve with Prince Nana, the Mogul Embassy. Swerve walks out. The way Swerve walks out is no different to me than Roman Reigns walks out. That music plays, and the manager walks out. Swerve just commands your eyeballs, and I'm kind of stuck. And if I have to put my money right now on one of the two, I think it's Swerve. I think they're giving it to Swerve. I think Swerve's just been around a little bit longer. Swerve has really earned it. Swerve has this thing about him, and shocking enough, he'd be the first black AEW champion. Like, how is that possible with all the talent they've had in there? So my money's on Swerve, but Jay White will be seeing that belt some point in his future, not by stealing it. JP, your thoughts?
I'm in full agreement with you on that one. Swerve is great. He's actually, in my opinion, the second best heel currently in AEW. First is Christian. I gotta give it to the guy. I'm
Oh,
so in love with Christian right now. I've always been a fan of his, but he's found a whole nother gear right now. And to say that you're second to Christian is extremely high marks because I think what Swerve is doing with the
Mogul
with
Embassy.
Prince Nana and the embassy, what
Yeah.
he's doing with them, he's elevating every single one of those guys, and that's hard to do
Oh
while
yeah.
you're trying to bring yourself up. That's extremely hard to do, and he's doing it well, and that whole crew is shining. So it's I can see why you would want someone like that because he's showing that he can bring these guys up on live TV. Imagine what he could do behind the doors in the locker room to bring up behind the curtains to bring up other talent in the back. That's the kind of guy. If I was running a company, I'd want someone like that as my champion.
Go back and watch some Swerve Strickland videos when he was with WWE and Top Dollar and all those gang, in Hit Row. How did they let this man go? How did they not see the talent? And plus, he's a rapper. His song is through the roof. He's getting interviewed on mainstream media.
Yeah.
He's having a remix done. Swerve is bomb. Swerve is the man. Swerve all day long. So I think it's gonna be fabulous when we see him as the actual champion. And you know what's gonna happen. You think that Jay White's gonna be the one to do it, and Swerve is just gonna come when you least expect it, and he's taking out MJF. And I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch.
So, would you think that we're in for a swerve? If you cut the last episode of Dynamite, you'd notice that Jay White got beat up by a group of individuals, but with someone wearing a white mask. Are we in for a swerve? Do you think that's Swerve taking out Jay White?
The best rumor I've read so far is that it's Ruby Soho. Kind of looks like Ruby, actually. They showed them side by side. It would be interesting, yes, but I feel like Swerve has other business to attend to right now. He'll get to MJF when it's ready and Jay White when he's ready. But
Yeah.
whoa, Jay White versus Swerve Strickland in a number one contenders match. I'd fly wherever that match is taking place. That would be epic. That's a match. That's a match.
Yeah. Great technicians. It would be an awesome one to watch for sure.
And when they have that mixed bag tag team, when they do that the lottery pick tag teams, which is
Yeah.
how Better New Bebe came about, Jay White and Swerve Strickland as a tag team, that'd be pretty freaking cool too.
Yeah, I would I can't wait till the next one to see who they draft together. At least they have a storyline of how they throw people together. Unlike WWE that just he's like, you two are working together today. Here you go. Good luck.
Back to Christian Cage for a moment. I didn't even think of him in
Yeah.
that sense, but I will say this much: I lost my dad at 10 years old, and if Christian Cage found out and he'd rip into me, it's actually, you know what? I don't know how they get away with it in the year 2023, but it's still pretty funny. I don't know what Christian's obsession with it is, but you know what? Nick Wayne turned over to him, which is great for his career.
Oh, huge.
I would say right now in professional wrestling, there is nobody better on the mic than Christian Cage.
Agreed. Agreed.
Christian is at another level, and that's where I heavily respect that Adam Copeland's going to come out. And Adam Copeland for his swan song is going to elevate Christian Cage. Christian Cage is walking out of there victorious, and good on them. This is a great way to see the sign off.
Agreed, man. I am so loving that storyline. I'm loving the energy. I love that Sting's involved. Sting is on his last hurrah too. Man, there's just so many great things happening there. And do you think that Christian could be in that title picture for Triple B?
I say no just because he's the TNA champion when the whole Luchasaurus thing, and And I like the look of the TNA belt. It's kind of neat. So I think they're happy with him with the TNA belt. But we're out of time for today's episode. But you've given a great segue for next week. So stay tuned, folks, because we have several AEW wrestlers that we are studying their futures and we're going to analyze what's going on. And I don't know if I've been misreading this or not, but apparently Ric Flair has signed an AEW contract. True or false, JP?
Ooh, that's true, true, true.
Stay tuned, folks. Wrestling futures of AEW stars, some big ones to talk about. This is Professional Wrestling, the podcast.